Chapter 14, Burying Our History. At school breaks and holidays I would go back home to Woodmont, where my room would be waiting for me, exactly as I'd left it. While the furniture stayed the same, everything else had changed. The organ player Miss Sunshine Flowers was gone, so there was no more live music, only recordings. The lady I called Honey Bunch Honey was gone. Mississippi St. Mary Bloom and Miss Dorothy Darling no longer lived at Woodmont. Even the food flavor was gone. Mother Divine decided her contribution to the movement would be to make sure we were all fit and trim. She had rearranged the cooks and the menus to include healthier food. As people began abandoning the dinners, it didn't make sense to have them in the grand dining room upstairs anymore. Weekday banquets took place next to the lower kitchen, so the staff didn't have to carry dishes and food up the stairs or use the dumbwaiter. The exception was when outside guests visited. We would go back to the grand dining room and eat decadent food, like lobster tails. On my visits, I was always given free run of Woodmont. I was obligated to meet with Mother, but then she would go back to her business until it was time for banquet. My days were spent fishing in the lake, where I'd catch trout and bring it back for Mother. When it was hot out, I would lay in the fountain in front of the brothers' quarters to cool off. I did a lot of projects, like building a tree house on the fence line between our neighbor's house and Woodmont, and constructing a go-kart to ride around the property. Nearly a year after Father's death, I received a call from Mother Divine that she was sending Happy to pick me up. It wasn't a typical school break, so I was curious about what was happening. Happy came for me and let me in on the plan. I was being called back to Woodmont to lay the cornerstone for Father's shrine to life. When we arrived back at Woodmont, Mother and a group of about 20 of her new followers were waiting. About 200 yards from Father's office was a patch of dirt, which had been leveled to make the foundation of the tomb. It was in the shape of an octagon, just like Father's office. The followers and a handful of construction workers stood around as Mother Divine announced that I would be laying the first stone to the shrine to life. She looked at me like a doting mother, smiling and encouraging me as I stepped forward. This was all definitely to show everybody that we were a team. But I had not been included in any of the plans. I was merely called in to place the stone. Someone gave me the stone, and the workers showed me where to place it. I put it in the corner and looked up. The circle of people clapped quietly, but nobody shed a single tear. I was holding back my emotions, and felt immense sadness. When I think back on the reaction of Mom and the followers to the placement of the stone, I think there were still those loyal to Father who thought I was the movement's future. I now think she planned to keep me close, so I could be controlled. Mother Divine said the shrine would have two purposes. It will provide a sanctuary in which the body of God is enshrined, and act as a reminder of His covenant fulfilled from the beginning of biblical history. Everybody there seemed to think I had a part in the plans for Father, but I learned the plan at the same time as everybody else. Mother had collaborated with an architect, William Hyle Thompson, to construct the octagonal structure, and sculptor Donald DeLue to create the bronze doors decorated with statues depicting different scenes of the heavens and justice. There is an allusion in the door's sculpture of God reaching down to touch man. Inside the tomb reads an inscription, a quote from Father in the New Day, published February 7, 1953, "Condescendingly I came as an existing spirit unembodied, until condescendingly imputing myself in a bodily form in the likeness of men I came, that I might speak to them in their own language, coming to a country that is supposed to be the country of the free, where mankind has been privileged to serve God according to the dictates of his own conscience, coming sponsoring this peace mission. And this spiritual revelation in the hearts of the children of men, and establishing the kingdom of God in the midst of them, that they might become to be living epistles as individuals, seen and read of men, and verifying that which has long been said, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he shall dwell with them, and God himself shall be with them, and shall be their God, and they shall be his people." The ceiling over the inscription is made of jade and 24-karat gold tiles. There is a skylight that allows beams of sunshine to bounce around the room, allowing it to always be bright when the sun is up. I thought it was a fitting burial for him. I loved Father, and I was glad that they were giving him the best of everything, but unlike everybody else, I knew he was never coming back.